You just signed the Florida as-is contract, but suddenly, life changes, cold feet sets in, and you need out. Most sellers assume breaking a real estate agreement works like canceling a hotel reservation. You just pay a minor cancellation fee and walk away. But this illustrates the legal reality. The scales tip away from the seller toward heavy judicial power, locking you into specific performance. A judge can legally force you to sign the deed over to the buyer and physically vacate the property. To make matters worse, the prevailing party in this litigation is entitled to recover all of their attorney fees and court costs directly from you. Simply changing your mind triggers a severe legal trap that threatens your home and your savings, making a legitimate contractual loophole your only path forward. Escaping this trap means you have to stop playing defense and start actively hunting for specific escape hatches hidden in the contract's fine print. The most common technical out relies on the financing contingency, located in paragraph 8b. The buyer is strictly bound to a 30-day loan approval period, and they must provide written notice detailing their loan status before time runs out. If the buyer fails to deliver that written notice by the end of the 30th day, the power dynamic instantly shifts back to the seller. Immediately after those 30 days expire, a highly specific 3-day window opens up for you to terminate the contract in writing. But if you miss this tight window, the contract automatically converts into a cash deal, and your specific right to cancel disappears permanently. Mastering these exact notice periods and striking within that 72-hour window serves as your most powerful technical defense against being locked in. Specific exit mechanisms also exist for moments when uncontrollable external events bring the entire transaction to a halt. This triggers force majeure, which covers severe, unexpected disruptions like aggressive hurricanes, massive floods, or sudden government shutdowns. When an event of this scale strikes, the contract automatically pauses, legally extending all of the scheduled closing deadlines. This calendar matrix tracks the critical threshold. If the disruption prevents the closing for more than 30 days beyond the originally scheduled date, the rules change. Once that 30-day mark is crossed, either party can provide written notice to walk away. The buyer keeps their deposit, and you are completely released from the deal. While a natural disaster brings chaos, it provides a rare, clean path for a seller to terminate a transaction entirely penalty-free, provided the delay is severe enough. There is another path out, rooted entirely in the physical property itself and its legal history, specifically title defects and survey encroachments. As a seller, the contract requires you to use reasonable, diligent effort to cure these specific property flaws. This flowchart maps out the timeframes allotted for your fixes. You start with a standard 30-day cure period, which can branch into a 120-day extended cure period. A deadlock occurs if you are genuinely unable to resolve the issue within these timeframes, and the buyer flatly refuses to accept the flawed title. At this point, the contract reaches a natural end. The agreement terminates completely, and the deposit is returned directly to the buyer. An unfixable legal flaw in the property paradoxically becomes the exact mechanism you need to legally escape a contract you no longer want to close. The harsh reality of the Florida as-is contract is that it is heavily stacked in the buyer's favor by default. There is a massive gap between the severe judicial punishment of simply changing your mind and the precise execution required to utilize these built-in escape hatches. As this image illustrates, selling a home requires treating the contract less like standard paperwork and much more like a high-stakes strategic chess match. Because the stakes are so high, it is absolutely vital to consult with a legal professional to ensure any written notice of termination is sound and delivered properly. Maintaining ownership of your property requires mastering notice periods, aggressively guarding those 3-day windows, and using the fine print to your advantage. Subscribe to the channel for more insider real estate knowledge, or hit the link in the description to hire a realtor who plays to win.